So if you're a physician moving to Florida right now, or you're about to sign a new contract, you need to understand what's really happening with malpractice coverage in this state. For large hospitals and hospital employed doctors, malpractice coverage is still typically required. But the danger zone and where we're seeing the shift is in private practice and high risk medical specialties and outpatient centers. More and more of these private facilities and high-risk specialty practices are now telling incoming doctors, you can either go bare, meaning no coverage, or like, sure, yeah, you can go buy your own coverage, but the kicker is you'll have to cover the entire team. And for most doctors, buying full team coverage simply isn't viable. The economics don't work. No one can afford that. So why is this happening in Florida? The malpractice insurance system in Florida is broken. Premiums, for high risk specialties can easily run 50,000 to 100,000 or even more per year, and they still don't guarantee protection. Florida's legal climate is so litigious that many doctors are forced to make a hard choice, either pay crushing premiums for everyone, which most don't, or go bare and practice without, malpractice coverage. And that's what most are doing. And Florida law allows this. You can file the proper notice with the state and post a disclosure in your office. And so legally, what you're doing is you're agreeing that if something happens, you'll cover up to, 100,000 or 250,000, depending on your privileges. But here's the reality. There's no cap on malpractice damages anymore in Florida. A jury can and does award 1 million, 5 million, or even more. And if you don't have insurance backing you, your personal assets are fully exposed, like cash, investments like stock portfolio, LLC interest, rental properties, future income, certain retirement accounts, depending on the type. And if your asset structure isn't locked down, you could lose everything you've worked for. All of it's up for grabs. That's why any doctor, going bare needs to think like a business owner, not just a practitioner. You need proper asset protection in place. I just had this exact conversation with a vascular surgeon moving to Florida and his fiance, an OBGYN. Both are entering private specialty settings, both facing the same reality. No malpractice coverage, going bare, full exposure, and personal liability. This is now completely common across high-risk medical specialties in Florida, like vascular surgeons, OBGYNs, neuro, ortho, plastics, like you name it. Now, a lot of physicians moving to Florida might be thinking like, yeah, it's fine. Florida has strong asset protection laws. We got that great homestead exemption, no state income tax. I'll be okay. Great. That's a dangerous assumption. Yes, Florida does have one of the strongest homestead exemptions in the country. Your primary residence is well protected. But beyond that, Florida actually has very weak asset protection laws. No self-settled spendthrift trust statutes. You can't be your own beneficiary in a Florida trust. Domestic asset protection trusts do not work there. And using an out-of-state domestic asset protection trust, like running off to Nevada or Wyoming, will not hold up in Florida courts. So the translation is once you go bare, yeah, your home might be protected, but everything else is completely wide open to a lawsuit. That's why more Florida physicians, especially in high-risk private practice settings, are turning to advanced hybrid and offshore compliant structures like our Bridge Trust or Asset Protection Trust. Our Bridge Trust is designed exactly for this situation. It starts domestic and fully IRS compliant. It is also fully registered offshore from day one that is created in the Cook Islands with over 30 years of court-tested case law and over 300 battle-tested victories. And it only shifts offshore when needed under full legal oversight. It gives you what Florida can't, a true firewall between your personal assets and the massive liability you're taking on by going bare. So if you're a physician moving to Florida or about to sign, one of these private practice or high-risk medical specialty contracts, this is your window to act because once a claim hits, your legal options narrow fast. So where do you think you should go from here? If you're starting to realize that going bare in Florida without a proper legal structure isn't worth the personal risk, and you want to explore, what the right structure could look like for your situation, we made it really easy for you. Just click the link below. You'll find educational videos, case studies, and everything you need to make the best decision for yourself before you're exposed. Because again, you don't rise to the level of your income, you fall to the level of your legal structure. And so let's make sure you're ready today.